Hey guys, let's talk about 5 reasons why you may be in a sexless marriage. So the first reason is that maybe it's been a really long time since you had a real conversation. So I'm not talking about the conversation that is like, what are we having for dinner, or who's picking up the kids, or something that happened with the kids, or anything really about kids. But I'm talking about like a real conversation. So something where you actually talk about something you're struggling with, something that might feel more vulnerable, that it may be harder for you to talk about or is just like in your mind, but using your partner to actually have some real conversations. So that's one reason. Another one is that intimacy might be out the window. So the reality is that intimacy, sex is such a big part of intimacy, but intimacy is so much, right? It's holding hands, having a real kiss. So I'm not talking about like one of those like, pecks on the lips. I'm talking about like a real kiss, or having, like I said, those real conversations, opening up, hearing what your partner has to say, listening to them. So intimacy is a big part of making that your sex life come back, or to make that more active, or to have that be something that you really want. The third is that there might be resentment that's lingering. The reality is, whether it's something that was much bigger, like an affair, or something your partner said that was hurtful to you, when you have that kind of kept inside, all the other things that could be happening, so something else that happens in addition to that, is just added into that. It's something that it becomes this kind of like big pile of stuff, and when you just hold that all in, it's really hard for you to have that connected, intimate marriage. So it might be time to work through some of that resentment. And it definitely could be easier said than done to actually work through it. So maybe you need some help or some support, or start writing it out, or actually getting out what's on your mind and getting it onto paper and looking at it. But it might be time for you to actually start working through that resentment. The next one is that maybe you stopped trying. So whether you're the higher desire or the lower desire partner, maybe you stopped trying to have that more intimate sex life, where you started to actually connect in different ways. Maybe you stopped trying initiating. Or if you don't know, if you don't really like sex or aren't into it, or you haven't really explored your body, maybe you just stop trying to even think about it or look at that. So maybe you just stop trying in your marriage or personally. The next one is that maybe you aren't setting the boundaries or the expectations of what it is that you're wanting. So it can't be just things that you're thinking in your mind, and now the fights become all this other stuff that could be happening, but actually having those conversations with your partner around what it is that you're hoping for your sex life. So making sure that you are setting those expectations, and just communicating what it is that you're wanting. So those are 5 reasons, and I hope that you got some valuable feedback, and make sure to read the full blog, so that way you're getting into it a little bit more. This is Dr. Novak with Simi Psychological Group. Reach out with any questions.